on this Friday afternoon, September 13th. It's 81 degrees in Richland Center at 12:09. For WRCO News, I'm Joanne Krulotz. You might want to double-check any apple juice you have purchased. Wisconsin State Farmer reports that several apple juice brands sold across the country are being recalled for arsenic levels. The recalls include 2 juices which were sold at Walgreens and Aldi stores in Wisconsin. Products affected in Wisconsin include 100% apple juice, 64 ounces, best of use by date March 25, 2025, sold at Walgreens, and Nature's Nectar 100% apple juice, 64 ounces, sold at Aldi with best of use by dates March 26, 2025, and March 27, 2025. The Wisconsin Elections Commission will ask the legislature to fund a new office focused on election transparency. Administrator Megan Wolf.
We're not unique. I think election offices around the country are facing these increased demands. And so we wanted to at least bring it to the lawmakers' attention. We continue to have these demands, but we continue not to have the additional resources needed to meet these additional demands.
Commissioners voted 5-1 to request just under $2 million in the upcoming state budget. Commissioner Bob Spindell was the lone dissenting vote. He sought bipartisan leadership for that.
I think a program like this would be good if this be basically run by 2 attorneys, one that's appointed by the Republican leadership in the legislature, the other appointed by the Democratic leader. So both parties have the ability to have a view in terms of what's going on.
Democratic Commission Chair Ann Jacobs said agency staff are required by statute to be nonpartisan, and such a change would require action from the legislature. A complaint has been filed with the Federal Election Commission against State Senator Andre Jacques. The Campaign Legal Center alleges Jacques transferred money from his state campaign committee to his campaign fund for the 8th Congressional District. Transactions, they say, violate a ban on candidates directing or transferring soft money in connection to a federal election. The complaint asked the FEC for sanctions, including civil penalties to deter future violations and an injunction prohibiting future violations. The Democratic vice presidential nominee is back in Wisconsin today. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz holds a campaign event in Wausau. The visit is Walz's 3rd to Wisconsin in recent weeks and is part of an effort to campaign in battleground states following Tuesday's debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump. The Department of Health Services is asking for your help. Every 5 years, they put out a maternal and child health survey. They're evaluating maternal and child health programs and want feedback. The survey covers things like prenatal care, postpartum mental health, birth outcomes, and access to resources. Dr. Jasmine Zapata from the Department of Health Services.
Maternal and child mental health is so important. Being able to have access to culturally responsive providers and healthcare systems, being able to combat social isolation and form connections, social connectedness is so important.
The DHS would like to hear from more African Americans, more people near Milwaukee, and more in rural areas.
It's very important that we have diversity of voices, of backgrounds, of experiences. And so if you could just help us to spread the word, if anybody's listening to this and can help us spread the word to a friend or a family member or at work about this needs assessment, it would be very, very helpful.
If you or someone you love fits that category, the link to the survey can be found at civicmedia.us. Carrying your Social Security card with you makes you vulnerable to identity thieves. The SSA's Abigail Zapote says it's not necessary if you have your number memorized.
We do ask that folks, first and foremost, not carry their Social Security card around with them, whether it's in their purse or their wallet. Usually that's an easy way to be able to lose their Social Security card.
Officials say you don't have to go to your nearest Social Security office to do business with the agency.
They can report a stolen Social Security number to the Federal Trade Commission at identitytheft.gov and then go through our replacement process at ssa.gov/number-card to ensure that they can get that replacement card if they need it.
There's more information about keeping your identity safe at ssa.gov. Lower wage workers in Wisconsin are making more money. Laura Dresser is co-author of a new UW-Madison study.
In these last 5 years, lower wage workers have seen their wages go up by 8% in terms of purchasing power, real value, and high wage workers have only had wages go up about 1%.
She says women and workers of color are still making less than others.
When you focus on improving the quality of jobs, especially at the bottom of the labor market, you also are looking to close racial and gender gaps in wages because it is Black and brown and women workers who are dominant in lower wage jobs.
Laura Dresser says Wisconsin should raise its minimum wage. A Sun Prairie construction company is facing workplace safety fines once again. The Operation Health and Safety Administration says workers for GL Construction were performing framing works on houses in Verona without any safety gear. The company was cited for multiple violations and faces over $144,000 in fines. Labor Department officials say GL hasn't paid fines for a 2022 incident where a worker died on a job site. The company has 15 days to contest the latest citation. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation Division of Motor Vehicles will implement new federal requirements for drug and alcohol status compliance and will downgrade commercial driver licenses for noncompliance beginning this Sunday. Through the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration's new drug and alcohol clearinghouse status checks, state DMVs will be notified when CDL drivers do not pass their drug or alcohol testing. When Wisconsin DMV's new CDL verification system goes live Sunday, all Wisconsin CDL drivers who are not in federal compliance will have their commercial driving privilege downgraded until they clear their record with FMCSA. With a license downgrade, operating a commercial vehicle is illegal. The commercial driver's regular driving privilege will not be impacted. The formal federal rule notes that beginning November 18th, all state driver licensing agencies will be required to remove the commercial driving privileges from the driver license of an individual subject to the commercial motor vehicle driving prohibition. Wisconsin DMV's compliance with the final rule will help keep unsafe drivers off the road. Wisconsin CDL drivers with the federal prohibited status will have their CDL classes downgraded until they can comply with the return to duty process. Drivers who receive a downgrade letter from DMV should work with their employer and their substance abuse professional to complete the RTD process. Once the prohibited driver completes the RTD process with FMCSA, Wisconsin DMV will be notified and automatically release the downgrade, which returns their CDL status to valid. More information regarding this rule and process can be found online at clearinghouse.fmcsa.dot.gov. Milwaukee County tackles its budget challenges. The county's Finance Committee voted Thursday to recommend County Executive David Crowley's proposal to close a projected $19 million 2024 budget deficit with no extra cost to taxpayers and little impact on services. Crowley and the county's Office of Strategy, Budget and Performance worked with departments to address the shortfall, which arose despite last year's legislative approval to more than double the county's sales tax rate and increase state shared revenue. The full county board will vote on the budget proposal later this month. A decision may be nearer regarding a contested pipeline project in northern Wisconsin. 1 week ago, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources released its final environmental impact statement on the proposed Enbridge Line 5 segment relocation project. The existing pipeline between Superior and Michigan's Upper Peninsula is 71 years old, and a portion runs through reservation lands of the Bad River Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. The proposed relocation would reroute the line. A coalition of business, agriculture, and labor groups support the project, while the tribe and environmental groups want Line 5 shut down. Enbridge will need to secure permits from the DNR and Army Corps of Engineers before work can commence on the project. Police are searching for a Milwaukee man for the death of a Kenosha woman and her unborn child. 25-year-old Lawrence Franklin Jr. was charged Thursday with 2 first-degree homicide charges for allegedly shooting Amia Prather in the head last week. Prather was 8 months pregnant at the time. Franklin was already facing a pair of domestic abuse charges for allegedly attacking Prather in the past. Police say he bought a gun the same day he shot Prather. Franklin is considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information, contact the Kenosha Police Department. Residents of the Ithaca School District will be seeing a referendum question on the ballot next month. That question will ask the voters to authorize the Ithaca School District to exceed the revenue limit by $1.3 million per year for 4 years for non-recurring purposes. The reason for the ask is both simple and complex. Marty Richards is a member of the Ithaca School Board.
I think the best explanation we can give for that is that simply declining enrollment has led to a lower revenue limit. And so the lower, and this is calculated by the state of Wisconsin. So then that's the amount of money that comes from the state, and we're allowed from property taxes. And the problem we have in this environment is that the loss of that revenue limit outpaces what we can reduce in cost because of the lower enrollment.
As many school districts have been going to referendum over the years on a regular basis to keep up with expenses, the Ithaca School District is the only district in southwest Wisconsin that has not. It has been 15 years since the Ithaca District has gone to referendum. Richards says the QEO passed in 1993 has caused many of the districts to go to referendum.
People might remember the qualified economic offer, because when they passed that legislation and put that in effect, it limited a school district to increasing their budget by 3.8% maximum. Everybody knows your health care insurance is going to eat a lot of that up. So when you kind of have these limitations plus mandates of things that you have to do, and coupled with declining enrollment that's happened in many of the districts, well, almost all districts around us, that's where then we have to go to the public with an operating referendum and say, hey, we're at that point now. We haven't been, so it is a new discussion for a lot of our residents, but we're at that point now where we need your support as well.
Many may ask if the district has taken any steps to bring costs down. Richards says the district has been diligently working to do that.
I think that understanding that the administration and the school board has now already gone and looked at what we just had to do it. We didn't enjoy it, but we did have to get our per pupil costs down, what we were spending per pupil to educate the kids in the district. And we've already taken those steps to bring that down.
To inform residents, the Ithaca School District will be holding community informational meetings concerning the upcoming referendum.
It's not so much convince, it's just to educate. It's educate to the public, our residents in the district, of, number one, the hand that the state has dealt us, like every other district, and how now they are going to become a partner in that educational process to make sure we have the resources to offer the classes that we offer, to offer the different opportunities, and to continue to do that and potentially expand those opportunities as well.
The first information session will be held this Sunday at 10:45 at St. Mary's Catholic Church, Keysville Reception Hall. Additional sessions will also be held Thursday night, September 19th at 7 at the Lloyd Community Center, Monday night, September 23rd at 7 at Ithaca Schools, Wednesday, October 2nd at 5:45 at the Ithaca Community Gym, and Sunday morning, October 6th at 11:30 at the Willow Valley Church Hall. In 2023, a child under 13 was injured or killed in a driving-related crash every 5 hours in Wisconsin. Proper seatbelt and car seat usage can save children's lives. The Wisconsin State Patrol's September Law of the Month is child passenger safety to help families and caregivers keep their precious cargo out of harm's way. Child Passenger Safety Week is September 15th through 21st. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation encourages all families to take this time to review best practices to keep your child safe. When a car seat is installed and used correctly, it can reduce the risk of death in a crash by as much as 71%, according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Protect children with the right seat as they grow. Approximately half of all car seats are not correctly installed, according to data from NHTSA. Choosing the right car seat for the child's age and size and following the installation instructions in the car seat manual and vehicle owner's manual will help keep your child safe. National Seat Check Saturday is September 21st. Certified child passenger safety technicians will be available in communities across Wisconsin to demonstrate how to use car seats, booster seats, and seat belts correctly. According to Wisconsin state law, children must ride in a rear-facing car seat until they are 1 year old and weigh 20 pounds. A forward-facing car seat with a harness until they are 4 years old and weigh 40 pounds, and a booster seat until they are 8 years old or weigh 80 pounds or are 4 foot 9 inches. Moving children to the next type of car seat before they're ready leaves them vulnerable in a crash. Once the car seat is installed, be sure the child is safely secured with the harness every trip. About 8% of Wisconsin motorists do not wear a seatbelt, while approximately 50% of motorist fatalities in Wisconsin are unbelted. Seatbelt use is required by law in Wisconsin for all vehicle drivers and passengers, including children. The Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources will award more than $6 million to local groups to protect and improve surface water. Interested and eligible organizations are encouraged to apply for a surface water grant. A pre-application must be submitted by this Sunday to compete for a grant in November. Eligible organizations include counties, municipalities, local government units, lake and sanitary districts, natural resource agencies, tribal governing bodies, colleges and school districts, lake associations, nonprofit conservation organizations, river and surface water management organizations, and producer-led groups. Individuals are not eligible for grants but may partner with an eligible organization willing to sponsor a project. Reach out to your local environmental grant specialist to confirm your organization's eligibility. Pre-application forms can be found under the Applying tab on the DNR's Surface Water Grants Program webpage. Right-click the link to Surface Water Grant Application, Form 8700-284, and download or save as to create a copy of the form on your computer. Open the form from your local drive and fill out the sections labeled Pre-application. Email the form by Sunday to dnrsurfacewatergrants@wisconsin.gov. The department will be in touch with more information following your submission. Join the Boscobel Area Hospital and Clinics Foundation on Thursday, October 3rd for its 4th annual Legacy event, an online auction at Boscobel Bowl and Banquet. Guests will experience an unforgettable evening filled with connection, delicious food, live entertainment, online auction, and fun, all while supporting the mission of the Boscobel Area Hospital and Clinics Foundation. At the event, Gunderson Boscobel Administrator Teresa Brandt will offer organizational highlights, and Foundation Director Natalie Tollefson will share the impact of giving on rural health care, followed by high-energy entertainment from the Madison-based dueling piano act, Piano Fondue. The Legacy event begins at 5 with a cocktail and social hour, and a dinner buffet with prime rib and shrimp starts at 6. The dueling piano show begins at 7:30. Business casual attire is suggested. The cost is $75 per person or $525 for a table of 8. If you're not able to attend the event but are still looking to support, the online auction begins Monday at noon and runs through 8:30 on Thursday, October 3rd. All bids will be made via the 32 auction online platform during this time frame. To view items and bid, visit 32auctions.com/legacy2024. Register by this Monday by contacting Natalie Tollefson by phone at 608-375-6300 or by visiting the Gunderson Boscobel Hospital. Today is Youth Day at the Vernon County Fair. All youth 12 and under will be admitted free to enjoy all the festivities the fair has to offer at the Vernon County Fairgrounds. Mr. Ed's Magical Midway will open at noon with a wristband special from noon to 5. The Little Britches Dairy Show will be held at 12:30 in the Hanson Arena. There is a fee for the grandstand show tonight featuring the Badger State Tractor and Truck Pull at 7. Cost of admission to the grandstands is $10 with children 5 and under admitted free. A full list of events at the Vernon County Fair can be found online at vernoncountyfair.com. Wisconsin 130 and Wisconsin 133 intersection across the river to Porter Road in Lone Rock will be closed September 16th through September 30th for the Wisconsin 130 North Tie-In roadway construction to be conducted safely and efficiently. The posted East Detour route will utilize Wisconsin 130, Wisconsin 23, and U.S. Highway 14 through Spring Green. The West Detour route will utilize Wisconsin 133, Wisconsin 80, Wisconsin 60, and U.S. 14 through Muscadet.